Hello and welcome back to Walk the Cinema. Today we are going to be talking about a movie that I think is universally hated. So we thought it'd be a fun episode to talk about movie 43.
I think we should start the episode by saying our rating, which we usually say for the end, but I think this will set the mood, because this is the lowest rated movie we've ever covered, ever, period.
Yeah.
And maybe for the next 100 years will still be the lowest. I gave it a 2 out of 10.
And I give it a 1 out of 10. I originally had it as a 2 out of 10 because I liked one particular segment, but
Like is a strong word.
But after the end segment,
The very Banks,
end Elizabeth Banks segment, I wanted to die in that moment. So...
And that is not a strong enough word.
So I immediately changed it from my 2 to 1 because it was so horrendous.
Yeah, this sucks. It's hard. Okay, the Elizabeth Banks one, I will blame her. Personally, because I think she directed it too. But everyone else is kind of hard to point a finger at the actors. Mm-hmm. Because it kind of feels like they got tricked into this, or...
They were doing it for favors, you know?
Yeah, or maybe there was a lot of dirt that someone had on them. Just something. Because I know, Richard Gere wanted to get out of this after you filmed the segment. And George Clooney said there was no fucking way you would ever be in this film. So they cashed a lot of favors. And I think lied a little bit, because no one had a full script. They just had the script for their short. Because this is composed of shorts. And we're talking about the American version, because that's what we watch. There's a British version that's just the story that connects the shorts is different, but the shorts are the same.
So it doesn't have the Dennis Quaid.
No, I think it's
thing.
Teenagers looking for the worst movie ever, or the most banned movie or something like that.
I mean, I don't know. It's at its core, it's Dennis Quaid playing a character, I guess. I don't know if he's playing a character or himself. But he is trying to pitch this movie, and all of the movie segments are the segments that are going on, so they're very discombobulated and over the top bad. I think that they realize that it's bad. The premises are supposed to be stupid.
I think that they try to be self-aware, but it falls flat.
Exactly.
Because you're like, oh, this is really dumb, no one would do this, but then you do it, and you don't make it good. Or funny, in a bad way. Did I laugh at points? Yeah. Right? Chris Pratt shitting all over a car was really funny to me. But most of the times, it was just me being just over it.
Yeah, it becomes kind of
It's annoying.
Annoying, yeah.
They're trying to be edgy.
Yeah, it's they're trying to make you be uncomfortable. Yeah. And so, you have the opening segment with Kate Winslet and Hugh Jackman, which, oh my god, I don't know how they got those two to do this.
I think...
Because that one's not super egregious.
Right. No.
Because it's just that Hugh Jackman has, a...
ball sack in his neck.
Yeah, and... she's trying to figure out if anybody else can see it, because everybody else doesn't seem to notice anything. So they're on this blind date together, so she doesn't really know anything about him. Yeah. And so it's just a really dumb metaphor. And they do say it's a metaphor, for the things that people make up about somebody so that they don't have to feel vulnerable or make a connection or whatever.
I know that this one was the one that they filmed first and used to get funding.
Oh, promotional material?
And,
for it? Yeah.
No, this is the one they showed people, because this got rejected by most studios.
Yeah.
Until someone accepted it, and what they watched was the Hugh Jackman segment. And I just don't know how you watch this and you're like, that's funny.
I mean, it's the least... offensive.
Yeah, but it's also not funny.
It's kind of funny.
I don't think so.
Kind of.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying it's kind of funny. I could see, especially when this movie came out, it was 2013, but it was filmed. There were segments that were filmed way before that because Chloe Chloe Grace Moretz in a different segment was much younger than what she was in 2013.
Yeah.
Like, they filmed it very early on.
I think this took like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
From start to finish, because you have to work around people's schedules, because this is not a feature length for anyone.
Yeah. But, mid-2000s, late 2000s humor, I think, would have found that really funny. The Kate Winslet.
Okay, sure. But then it has 13 more segments.
Yeah. And the next segment is about a kid that's homeschooled, and so his parents give him the typical high school experience, but with themselves.
Yeah, that was really unfunny.
So that was really unfunny and really uncomfortable.
I don't even think it was uncomfortable, though. It was just not funny at all.
Well, it was just like, there's no payoff. Like, the payoff is that he has a fake girlfriend.
I guess. He dates a mop.
That has his mom's face on it.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Weird.
It's worse than anything that would be on SNL.
It's got Naomi Watts and
Lee Schreiber.
Yeah.
They were dating at the time, I think.
Either way, not great.
And he also has, I don't know his name, but he's from Shameless. He plays the kid.
I also don't know his name. And then we finally get to one of the ones that I had seen previously, or the ones that I remember, because I did watch this with my friend in high school, because it had all of these big name actors. It was supposed to be funny, and I'm pretty sure we turned it off. Like, we couldn't make it through it, even though it's 90 minutes. We were just like, this is genuinely like terrible.
I can't believe it was only 90 minutes.
Yeah. And this one has Anna Faris and Chris Pratt in it.
Yeah.
And Anna Faris would like Chris Pratt to poop on her.
Yeah, very childish. Immediately, very childish. But I did laugh at this one. I do think that, like, the poop Viagra was not funny, but humorous, I guess. I still didn't like it, but if I had to pick a segment, at least I giggle a little at this. I don't feel good about it. It's a poop joke, and that takes 10 minutes, but yeah, I laughed at it. It's just a poop joke.
Yeah, it's just a really long poop joke. And it's kind of funny. He gets hit by a car and has like a poop explosion.
Yeah, diarrhea is whatever. I'm not proud that this is my favorite one, but at the same time, I also don't like it. So it's my least egregious one, I guess.
Yeah. And then we move on to a segment that stars Emma Stone and Kieran Culkin.
They were so committed to this one, too. Both of them are, like, giving it their all for a segment that was just pretty short and kind of just whatever. Not spectacular. I don't know if there's a really big joke in it.
Yeah. It's not, like, crazy offensive or uncomfortable or anything like that.
It's not, no.
So I think that this is a pitched segment that I would assume that they would both be okay with.
Yeah, but I just don't understand what the joke was, really.
I think it's because he's, like, not attractive, and Emma Stone is more attractive.
That's your opinion.
I know, but I think that's what it is, because he has in the segment, like, greasy black hair.
I think
he's just pale. He works at a grocery store, and then you see Emma Stone that's supposed to be, like, looking a certain way.
Whatever. I think the joke is, like, everyone else is listening in and cheering them on, but that's not a good payoff. It's fine. I mean, whatever.
And then they have the iBabe kind of sprinkled throughout a couple times.
That was awful, yeah.
It's like they were developing a, like, commercial to put in the movie.
I understand what Richard Gere really wanted out of this.
Yeah.
Because that just wasn't funny.
Yeah.
It was really, like, I don't even know what scenario you'd make this in. Because a lot of these segments could have worked if it was, like, a celebrity, like, Funny or Die. Like, you put an episode that's 5 minutes out a week, and people will be like, haha, funny person said this. As a movie, it doesn't work, but this particular one, the iBabe, is just super unfunny. I think it's the worst one.
Yeah, definitely.
Except Elizabeth Banks.
Well, yeah, except for that one. That one was atrocious. But then we move on to the superhero speed dating, which is
boring as hell.
Really boring.
Super sexual for no reason. It was like, oh, that's a big vagina.
Yeah.
Are we 3?
It stars Justin Long, Jason Sudeikis, Christian Bell, Uma Thurman. They all play, like, different superheroes and, like, side characters, and it's
bad.
It has a lot of like twists that are kind of dumb, where it's like, oh, the Penguin was there and he strapped a bomb to Supergirl, and then Justin Long, who plays Robin, kisses Supergirl, and then Batman's like, oh, I knew all along that Supergirl was actually the Riddler in disguise, you know?
Yeah, again, not funny at all.
It's just kind of, it's very middle school humor.
It's very YouTube humor.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a cheap YouTube gag, but with really expensive celebrities, I guess. Because that's what they are. They're celebrities. I mean, at this point, they're not really actors in this. They're just known names. They're not using them for their acting skill. They're using them for their name on the poster.
Yeah. But the next segment is the one directed by Elizabeth Banks. Elizabeth Banks didn't direct the one that she was in.
Oh, okay.
But she directed the one with Chloe Grace Moretz and Christopher Mintz.
That's not the worst one.
Closet. That's my favorite one. And I remember seeing like a clip of it on YouTube, and that's part of the reason why we watched movie 43, like me and my friend, was because we both really liked this segment of this girl that's at her crush's boyfriend's house. I don't know. Yeah. They're like 12, 13, something like that. And she's at this house and she ends up getting her period, and the little boyfriend doesn't understand what's going on. He thinks she's bleeding out. He calls the police, tells him that his friend's bleeding out of her vagina, and they start laughing at him. And
not very original. Also not super well acted, genuinely.
No, but I think it's funny for like a segment. Like if you just
it's funny enough on YouTube.
Yeah, if you watched it on YouTube, you would have been like, "Oh my god, that's so funny."
Yeah, you watched it for 7-8 minutes on YouTube. This one would probably be fine, I guess. I wouldn't enjoy it, but
I think maybe we enjoyed it because we've been through the
okay,
the roughness of that
Can't
first.
Relate, yeah.
It's. I don't know. It just made me laugh when I remember watching it back in probably 2014, 2015.
Yeah, fair. It's not the worst. It's whatever. It's not very original or well acted, but I guess it's kind of funny. That's why other people have already done it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of funny.
And then here's another one that I thought was really stupid, which was titled Happy Birthday, and this guy kidnaps a leprechaun for his roommate for his birthday.
Johnny Knoxville is terrible in this.
Yeah.
The jokes are terrible.
It's got Gerard Butler in it, you know.
I think this might be the most annoying one, because it just keeps going and they do this stupid accent. They keep mentioning balls and shoving their dick down your throat and whatever. It's just not funny. Johnny Knoxville's a terrible actor, in my opinion. He's good being himself when he hurts himself in Jackass. But as an actor, a serious actor, he's not good.
Mm. But I thought it was weird that they actually got Gerard Butler to do the leprechaun.
They wanted Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And Colin Farrell would lose his shit if he was in this, so...
Yeah.
I mean, terrible.
It's bad, but I don't know. I guess maybe if I hadn't seen if I only had that one script and I didn't know like all the other crappy little segments that were going into this movie, maybe I would say yes. I don't know. I don't know how an actor could like act in this, in anything really, and not cringe at themselves while they're actively acting.
I think this script on paper could be like not one of the worst ones, but the directing made it really terrible and the casting choices made it really terrible. So yeah, I strongly dislike this one.
Yeah. Well, Truth or Dare, that segment was kind of funny.
No, it wasn't.
It was kind of like okay.
It was too stupid.
It had Halle Berry and Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, that's probably the weirdest duo.
Yeah.
And
but it's kind of funny.
They were together. Fine.
Yeah.
Like the actors were fine. It's just the gags were not funny to me.
Yeah, they just keep going. They're on a blind date again. We're back to like a blind
date. There's like 3 of those.
And they decide that they're going to do like a challenge, and they play Truth or Dare with each other, but they always keep picking Dare, and like the dares keep getting more and more daring, yeah. Like he gets a tattoo on his face. They both end up getting plastic surgery. You know, just kind of dumb stuff, but I guess that one has kind of a funny payoff, maybe. I don't know.
I didn't think it was funny.
Yeah, and then we have Victory's Glory, which is the coach lecturing his all-black basketball team.
Yeah, is it Cuba Gooding Jr.?
No, it's Terrence Howard.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, it's Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already forgot. I mean, it was a lot of penis jokes and black jokes, and that was it.
Yeah, and it just kept repeating the same thing over and over
Yeah, it did keep repeating. Because, like, it worked the first time, where it was like, you're black and they're white, you're going to destroy him. It's like, okay, it's a little funny.
Yeah.
But then it kept going.
It, like, went on for the whole segment, and it was kind of like,
that was the only thing they had.
I mean,
the only joke they had is, they're white, you're going to destroy them, which is, could be funny, but it just, whatever, they repeat it so many times that it stops being funny.
Mm. And then the final segment, which I think is the worst and made me not want to even have 1 star, is called Beazle, which was directed by James Gunn. So, I don't know.
Well, yeah, James Gunn has Slitters with Elizabeth Banks, so I guess maybe this was in the set of that?
Maybe, but it has Elizabeth Banks and Josh Duhamel. And to be fair, this one, it has an animated cat, and a lot of, like, the unsavory parts, you can't really, like, see that in a script. Right. I have no idea how they would write those types of mechanics into the script.
The cat fists himself, and the cat masturbates to pictures of its owner. Hilarious. I don't know. This is very bad.
No, it was, like, really... I really did not enjoy it.
Yeah, they keep insisting that the cat really wants to do weird shit. He puts a broom up his ass. God, I hate this movie.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It shouldn't even be on YouTube as, like, shorts. Let alone in theaters. But this made a lot of money when it came out. And I think the cast really, really helped.
Yeah.
And they must feel cheated for that.
Yeah. I think that because it has all of these big name stars, and I think it probably was advertised in a way where, like, how Valentine's Day was, or New Year's Day, the ones where it has, like, different, or Love Actually is probably a better one that people are more familiar with, where it's different segments that are interconnecting. I think that's probably what people thought going in when they saw it in theaters. It's kind of what I thought going in.
Not that at all.
Like, I knew it was different segments, but I thought it was going to be, like, interconnecting when I first saw it. But like I said, I turned it off. I don't know how many segments we got
but now we watched it all the way through, which is a feat. I feel like we're special for finishing this.
Yeah, and I mean, it has a 94 minute, I don't know, it's somewhere in that range.
2 long minutes.
Yeah, it feels much longer than that. And I feel like that shouldn't be how this movie should feel. It feels like a pill.
This movie should be something that's fun to put on. You got all these resources. You decided that this is the one you're going to pitch to everyone. It's the one you're going to ask favors for and use connections. And then you can't write something that's at least funny. You're just trying to be as edgy as possible.
Yeah.
I'm sure they thought it was funny. Like, the people that were involved in this, mostly the production crew. But it's not. It's not, and most people agree that it's not. And even the people that, like, I kind of like this because I have bad taste. Like, they don't say I like this, it's good. They say I like this, but I know it's really lowbrow. Yeah,
it is very kind of, I don't know. I think maybe at some points this was probably a little bit inside humor between whoever wrote it and maybe the directors. I really don't know. But it does kind of feel like maybe the people who wrote it would find it funny, or the people who are in the know would find it funny, but to everyone else, it's just garbage. Yeah. You know? Because, like, I could say a word to, like, one of my friends that we have an inside joke about, and they would laugh at it, but nobody else would be laughing at it, you know?
No. I don't know. This is just, there's no wonder that no star involved in this wanted to promote it.
This would be a very hard movie to promote. I think if I was in one of the segments that wasn't terrible, like Chloe Grace Moretz, like she was in that one years before. She did that segment years before this movie eventually came out. I would be mortified that my name was associated with it.
I think a lot of people wanted their name out of it, they wanted their segments out of it. But the way that this was made, the actors really didn't have a word in it. I doubt that anyone made money out of this, acting-wise. I'm sure the producers in the studio made a little bit of money.
Well, I mean, it says the budget was $6 million, according to the Wikipedia.
I don't think the budget was $6 million. I'm pretty sure they just sold the script for $6 million or sold the idea for $6 million.
I don't know. I think maybe you could get away with it, especially if it's actors doing favors or, you know, only having to pay them for 7 minutes of their time.
And I'm sure they used cameras that were already rented.
Yeah.
Like,
but it only, you said it made a lot. It only made $32 million.
That's a lot.
Which is a lot, but like, it's not crazy.
It's not a blockbuster, but it's a lot for what it is, because this didn't get a lot of promotion either.
Yeah.
It was mostly like YouTube clips and word of mouth.
I would say that it's pretty amazing that I can watch this as like a sketch comedy type thing and think that even SNL would...
No, SNL wouldn't stoop this low.
No, like, and I think SNL does a pretty bad job most of the time. Like, they don't
yeah, but they got a week and 10 actors to work with.
Exactly. And they have to put it on television, too.
They had stars in 4 years. There's no excuse. And that's all I gotta say. I hate it. Don't watch it.
Yeah.
And if you're curious, don't be. Because I was, and this is why we watched it. I was very curious. I've been hearing about this for years.
Yeah. And
it wasn't worth it.
No. It's I think the director or the...
It's like 100 directors. I
know. The guy that came up, the producer, Charles Wessler, he wanted to make something that was kind of like Funny or Die, but if you went over the top with it, which... is exactly what he did. I think he accomplished that. And he also said that he wanted to make a Kentucky Fried movie for the modern age.
No.
Which we haven't seen.
But it's not that.
And my dad really recommends us to watch it.
Yeah, but it's not.
But I would assume that he did not accomplish making a Kentucky Fried movie version for the modern age. I think he just made something that was just completely... devoid of any creativity.
Yeah, it's so uncreative. Like, Anna Faris says, "I want you to poop on me." I was like, didn't she say that in like one of the Scary movies or something like that? I feel like I've seen this before. I've seen Anna Faris saying "poop on me." Just dick jokes, poop jokes, animals masturbating. I don't know, whatever you were going at is not original and not funny to most people. And I get that you were trying to be edgy, but even the people that do enjoy the edginess of it still know that this is a terrible film. So I don't know what the point of this was.
I really don't either. I don't know what they were thinking. I guess maybe they were thinking it was going to be a movie that was going to be treasured forever and like had all of these big names to kind of back it up. But
yeah, it's so treasured that we just bought this at the Dollar Tree. There was like 50 copies of this at the dollar store, and we got one.
Okay, so I will say I gave James Gunn a little bit of a flack just a second ago about directing perhaps the worst segment in this movie. But he said that Elizabeth Banks was the one who convinced him to direct the segment, and that he didn't even get to edit his segment. Like, he wasn't involved in that at all. So, and he's never seen the film. So, I guess the producers really didn't give anybody involved in this any type of say or freedom to do what they wanted. No, I think
they just wanted names to associate with it. There's not creative freedom or vision. It was just, I need your name because, I mean, we watch movies based on certain people, right? Like, if you're gonna watch all the James Gunn directed movies, you're gonna end up watching this, and that's, I don't know, you might rent it or stream it and they'll make a buck out of it. But I mean,
I really wouldn't watch this.
It's not a James Gunn directed film. It's just associated with it.
Yeah. But I think that we've kind of obliterated this movie into the ground.
We could have said a lot worse, and we did not. So.
But let us know if you like hearing us talk about movies that we don't like more, and maybe we'll incorporate that in future episodes. But we'll end this here, and we will see you next time.